The Old Man and the Small, Slow Steps, a story by a friend. Hello, thank you for stopping here, for taking this time for yourself. Maybe you are sitting in a quiet room, maybe you are walking, or cooking, or resting after a long day. Wherever you are, I am glad you are here. I want to tell you a story. It is a simple story about a man, a boy, and a small, broken wall. But like most simple stories, it holds a big truth. So, take a deep breath, make yourself comfortable, and let us begin. Chapter 1: The Boy Who Wanted to Run. There was a small village, quiet and green, with a single road that went up a hill. At the top of the hill, there was an old house. In that house lived an old man. His name was Elias. In the village, at the bottom of the hill, lived a young boy named Rian. Rian was full of energy. He wanted to do many things. He wanted to be strong. He wanted to be smart. He wanted to learn English like the people in the movies. But Rian had a problem. He wanted everything fast. One day, he saw his friend draw a beautiful bird. Rian thought, I want to draw like that. He took a paper and a pencil. He tried to draw the bird, but his lines were shaky. The bird looked strange. Rian felt angry. He threw the pencil down. This is too hard, he said. I'm not good at this. He never tried to draw again. Another day, he heard a man speaking English on a small radio. The words sounded so smooth, so wonderful. Rian thought, I want to speak like that. He found an old English book. He tried to read one page. The words were long. He did not know them. He could not understand. He closed the book. English is too difficult, he thought. I will never learn. Rian wanted to run fast to reach the top of the mountain of his dreams in one big jump. But every time he tried to jump, he fell. And every time he fell, he felt smaller. Chapter 2: The Old Man on the Hill. Rian often saw the old man, Elias, walking slowly up the hill to his house. Elias walked with a stick. His steps were small and slow, but he never stopped. Rain or sun, every evening he would walk that path. One day, Rian was sitting by the road, feeling sad. He had tried to do something, he had failed, and now he felt like giving up on everything. Elias was walking by. He saw the boy's sad face. Hello, young one, Elias said, his voice soft like an old blanket. Why do you look so heavy today? Rian looked up. I want to do things, he said. I want to be good at things. But I am not. I try, but I fail. I want to run fast, but I just fall down. Elias smiled. He did not laugh. He sat down slowly on a big stone next to Rian. He pointed to the top of the hill, where his small house sat. Do you see my house up there? Elias asked. Rian nodded. Yes, every day I walk to it, Elias said. I am old now. My legs are not strong. I cannot run. If I try to run, I will fall. So, I take one small step, then another, and another. It takes time, but I always reach my door. Rian looked at the hill. It did not look so big to him. He could run up it in a minute. But for the old man, it was a long journey. I want to learn English, Rian said suddenly. But the words are too hard. I don't understand. Elias's eyes twinkled. English, he said, as if tasting the word. A good thing to learn. But tell me, do you try to learn all the words in one day? Rian thought. Well, I tried to read a whole page, but I couldn't. Elias nodded. That is like me trying to run up the hill. You cannot read a whole page if you do not know the words. You must take one small step. He picked up a small stick and drew a single letter in the dust. This is a step, Elias said. Just this one letter. Can you learn this one small thing today? Rian looked at the letter. A, he said. Yes, I know that. Good, said Elias. Tomorrow, you learn the next one. And you do not worry about the whole page. You do not worry about speaking like the man on the radio. You just take one small step every day. It seemed too simple, too slow. Rian wanted to run, not crawl, but the old man's calm voice made him feel quiet inside. I will try, Rian said. Chapter 3: The Broken Wall. The next day, Rian came back. He found Elias not on the road, but behind his small house. There was a low wall there, made of stones. Part of the wall had fallen down. It was just a pile of rocks. Elias was standing by the pile. He was looking at one single stone. "What are you doing?" Rian asked. "I am fixing my wall," Elias said. "It fell down in the big storm last year. I have been meaning to fix it." Rian looked at the pile. It was big. It would take many stones to build that wall again. "That will take a long time," Rian said. "Yes," Elias agreed. "It will." Then he bent down, very slowly. He picked up one stone. He looked at it. He turned it in his hands. Then he placed it carefully on the ground where the wall used to be. He pushed it gently to make sure it was steady. "There," Elias said. "One stone." Rian watched. "But that's just one stone. The wall needs hundreds." "Yes," Elias said again. "But a wall of hundreds of stones is built one stone at a time. If I do not place this first stone, the wall will never be there. If I only look at the big pile of rocks and feel sad, nothing will happen. So, I pick up one stone." Rian understood. It was like the English book. He was looking at the big pile of words, feeling sad. He was not picking up one stone. "Can I try?" Rian asked. Elias smiled. "Of course." Rian bent down. He picked up a stone. It was heavy and rough. He put it next to Elias's stone. It was not perfect. It was a little crooked. "It's okay," Elias said. "We can move it later. The important thing is you placed it. Tomorrow, you can place another." Chapter 4: The Lesson of the Seeds. Days turned into weeks. Every evening, Rian would go up the hill. Sometimes they would place stones on the wall. The wall started to grow slowly. It was not a perfect wall. Some stones were big, some were small, but it was becoming a wall again. Other days, they would not work on the wall. They would sit in Elias's small garden. Elias had a small patch of land where he grew vegetables. One day, Elias was putting tiny seeds into the ground. Rian watched him. "Why do you put them so deep in the dirt?" Rian asked. "They can't see the sun." "They don't need the sun yet," Elias said, covering the seeds gently with soil. "First, they need to be in the dark. They need to be patient. Under the ground, they will drink water. They will send out tiny roots. It is hard work growing roots in the dark. But if they do not do this hard work, they cannot grow tall later. If they try to come up too fast, the sun will burn them, or the wind will break them." He patted the soil. "We must do the hard work when no one is watching. We must grow our roots. Then, when we come into the light, we are strong enough to stand." Rian thought about this for a long time. He thought about learning English. The hard work of remembering one word, then another, felt like growing roots in the dark. It felt slow. It was not exciting, but maybe it was necessary. That night, Rian did not try to read a whole page. He took his old English book. He opened it to the first page. He saw a sentence: "The cat is on the mat." He knew the word cat. He knew is. He knew on. He knew the. He did not know mat, so he picked up his small stone for the day. He learned the word mat. A mat is like a small carpet. It was one word, just one, but he learned it. He felt a small, quiet happiness. It was not the loud happiness of winning a race. It was the quiet happiness of placing one stone. Chapter 5: The Day of the Storm. One afternoon, the sky turned dark. A big storm came to the village. The wind howled. The rain fell hard, like stones from the sky. Rian stayed inside his house, looking out the window. He thought about Elias alone in his house on the hill. He thought about the wall. The next morning, the sun was bright again. The world was clean and wet. Rian ran up the hill as fast as he could. He was worried. He found Elias standing by the wall. Ryan's heart sank. Part of their new wall had fallen down again. The stones were in a pile on the wet ground. "Oh no," Rian said. His eyes felt hot. "All our work. It's gone. The storm broke it." He waited for Elias to look sad. But the old man's face was calm. He was looking at the pile of stones, but he was not sad. "Look closer, Rian," Elias said gently. Ryan looked. He wiped his eyes. He looked at the pile of stones. And then he saw it. The whole wall was not gone. Only the top part had fallen. The bottom part, the first stones they had placed weeks ago, was still there, strong, holding. Zane, Elias said, our work was not wasted. The foundation is still there. The storm was strong, but it could not take away everything. It could not take away the roots we put in the ground. He put his hand on Ryan's shoulder. This will happen in life. You will work hard. You will build something. And then a storm will come. A bad day. A failure. An argument. And part of what you built will fall down. You will feel like you have lost everything. But you have not. The foundation is still there. The lessons you learned are still there. The small steps you took are still there. You just have to pick up the stones and start again. And this time, you will build it even stronger. Ryan looked at the standing stones. He felt a new feeling. It was not just hope. It was strength. A quiet strength deep inside him. He knew then that they could fix it. They had done it before, one stone at a time. They could do it again. Chapter 6: The Boy Who Learned to Walk. Years passed. Ryan grew taller. He did not become a famous artist. He did not become a great speaker. But he became something else. He became a young man who knew how to work. He learned to fix things. He learned that if he wanted to be strong, he did not need to lift the heaviest weight on the first day. He needed to lift a small weight every day. He learned about time. He learned that time is not an enemy you have to fight. Time is a friend that helps you build if you use it well. He learned to give a little time to his dreams every day. 30 minutes for English, 20 minutes for exercise. And over time, those minutes added up to something big. He learned about honesty. He learned that it is honest to say, I do not know this word yet. It is honest to say, I made a mistake. And from that honesty, real learning can begin. He stopped pretending to be smart. He started the slow work of actually becoming smarter. His English grew, not fast like a fire, but slowly like a tree. He could understand more of the movies. He could say small sentences. He made many mistakes. He said he go instead of he goes. He forgot words. But Elias had taught him that mistakes are not failures. They are like stones that are a little crooked. You see them, you learn, and you place the next stone better. One day, a tourist came to the village. He was lost. He was speaking English and he looked worried. Ryan walked up to him. His heart was beating fast, but he took a breath. He remembered the first stone. Can I help you? Ryan asked. The words were simple. They were not perfect, but they were enough. The tourist's face lit up. He explained he was looking for a place to stay. Ryan listened. He understood most of the words. He pointed the way. The tourist smiled and said, Thank you so much. Ryan watched him go. A warm feeling spread through his chest. It was the feeling of reaching the top of the hill, not by running, but by walking, one step at a time. Chapter 7: The Old Man's Last Lesson. One evening, Ryan went up the hill. He found Elias sitting in his garden, looking at the sunset. He looked very tired. His hands, which had placed so many stones, rested on his knees. Sit with me, Elias said. Ryan sat down. They watched the sky change from orange to purple to deep blue. You have learned well, Elias said quietly. You understand the stones. You understand the seeds. You understand the storms. Ryan felt a lump in his throat. He knew this was a special moment. There is one last thing, Elias said. The most important thing. He pointed to the wall. It was finished now. It was strong and beautiful. Every stone was in its place. The wall is strong, Elias said. But do you know what made it strong? Ryan thought. The stones? The work? Elias shook his head slowly. No, the wall is just a pile of rocks. What made it strong was the belief. The belief that it could be built. The belief that one stone mattered. The belief that even after the storm, we could build again. He turned to look at Ryan. His old eyes were clear and bright. That belief must live inside you, not in the wall, not in the English words, not in your strong body, inside you. When you believe in yourself, you can face any storm, you can learn any language, you can build any life. One step, one stone, one word, always believing. A few days later, Elias passed away peacefully in his sleep. The whole village was sad. Ryan felt a deep, quiet sadness. He had lost his friend, but he had not lost his lessons. Chapter 8: The Wall That Stands. Years passed. Ryan became a man. He had a family. He had work. Life had many storms. There were days of joy and days of sorrow. There were times when he felt like giving up, times when the pile of problems seemed too big to fix. But on those days he would walk up the hill. He would go to the old house. He would stand in front of the stone wall. He would put his hand on the cool, rough stones. He would remember. He would remember the old man placing one stone. He would remember the seeds growing roots in the dark. He would remember the storm and the foundation that still stood. He would remember that he did not need to be perfect. He just needed to place one more stone. He just needed to learn one more word. He just needed to take one more step. And his children would sometimes come with him. They would ask him about the wall, and he would tell them the story. He would tell them about Elias and the small, slow steps. He would teach them the same lessons. Papa, his little daughter asked one day, I want to learn to write my name, but it's so hard. Ryan smiled. He picked up a stick. He drew one letter in the dust. Aid, this is a step, he said. Just this one letter. Can you learn this one small thing today? And his daughter looked at the letter, and she nodded. And Ryan knew that the wall would stand for a long, long time. Closing words. So, my friend, this is the end of our story. But maybe it is the beginning for you. You see, your life is like that wall. Your dreams are like that wall. Learning English is like that wall. It can feel so big, so far away. You look at the pile of rocks, the pile of unknown words, the pile of problems, and you feel small. You want to run, but you don't know where to start. But the secret is this: you do not need to run. You just need to place one stone. Today, learn one new English word. Just one. Tomorrow, learn another. Read one sentence. Listen to 1 minute of a conversation. That is your stone. Place it carefully. Did you make a mistake? Did you forget a word? That is okay. A storm came, part of the wall fell, but the foundation is still there. The work you did is still inside you. Just pick up the next stone and keep going. Believe in yourself, not in some loud, shouty way, but in a quiet, deep way. Believe that you can grow roots in the dark. Believe that small steps taken every day will take you to the top of the hill. You can do this. You can learn. You can grow. You can build a beautiful life, one step at a time. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope it felt like a warm hand on your shoulder. If this story helped you, if it made you feel a little stronger, then please share it with a friend who might need to hear it. And if you would like to hear more stories like this, please subscribe to this channel. It helps us to keep making them, and it tells us that you are walking this path with us. Take care of yourself. Be patient with yourself. And I will see you again soon with another story. Bye for now.